purpose of our employee handbook is to provide a reference tool for personal policy, information, and working conditions. You are expected to read, understand, and comply with all provisions of the handbook, as it describes many of your responsibilities as an employee and outlines programs designed for your benefit. No employee handbook can anticipate every circumstance or question, and as MS continues to grow, the need may arise to revise, supplement, or rescind any policies or portions of the handbook from time to time as it deems appropriate, and we reserve the right to do so at its sole and absolute discretion. The handbook does not create a contract of employment or a guarantee of rights. If you have any questions about any of the provisions in the handbook, please ask your manager or the Human Resource Department at any time. All employees are expected to be prompt and work diligently throughout the workday. If you are ill, you should call your immediate supervisor's phone or your recruiter, leaving a voicemail informing them of the absence. This should be done at least 2 hours prior to the scheduled work reporting time. The voicemail message should include the reason for the absence, when the employee expects to return to work, and how they can be reached by phone in the event of any questions. Any employee who is absent from work for more than one workday without notification or authorization is deemed to have vacated his or her position. Employees are also expected to remain at work for their entire work schedule, except for break periods. We follow the customer's break schedule. Employees are not permitted to leave the facility during break time. Late arrival, early departure, or other absences from scheduled work hours are disruptive and must be avoided. Excessive absenteeism, excused or not, may be grounds for disciplinary action up to and including termination. All employees need to understand that it is to their benefit to be at the client's location, clocked in and ready to work at the time the shift begins. More people may show up to work than needed, and the assignment will be made on a first-come, first-served basis, unless the supervisor was provided with a specific list of employees by email. Upon receiving a call or being placed on a job assignment, the recruiter will provide you with the following information. Make sure you have a pen and writing pad to write down the information correctly. You will be informed of the job assignment offer, the hourly rate for the specific assignment, the address and location, the job start time, anticipated length of the assignment, name of the supervisor or the customer with who you will be reporting to, and the dress code requirements. Dress code is based upon the customer's requirements. However, you should always present yourself in a professional manner. The Equal Employment Opportunity Policy reaffirms the policy and commitment of MS to provide equal employment opportunities for all employees and job applicants. MS endorses and follows the EEO policy when implementing all employee practices, policies, and procedure. The company recruits, hires, trains, and promotes individuals in all job titles without regard to race, color, religion, national origin, sex, age, except where sex or age is a bona fide occupational qualification defined by law, or physical or mental disability, except when the disability prevents the individual from being able to perform the essential functions of the job and cannot be reasonably accommodated in full compliance of the law. Gender identity, sexual orientation, or United States military service, or veteran status. We make employment decisions so as to further the principle of equal opportunity employment. It is the policy of MS to provide an environment free from sexual and sex-based harassment. It is against the policy of MS for any employee, whether it is a manager, supervisor, or coworker, to sexually harass another employee. In providing a productive environment, MS believes that its employees should be able to enjoy a workplace free from forms of discrimination, including but not limited to harassment on the basis of race, color, religion, gender, national origin, age, disability, gender identity, sexual orientation, United States military service, or veteran status. It is the company's policy to provide an environment free of such harassment. Any employee who believes that he or she has been harassed in violation of these policies should report the conduct to his or her supervisor, or if that individual is responsible for the harassment, to the Human Resource Department. The employee always has the option of reporting the conduct directly to the Human Resource Department, if they prefer. MS works to maintain an environment that is healthy and safe for all employees and customers. You are expected to adhere to all health and safety policies, including, but not limited to, safety procedures, warning labels, caution signs, and operating and storage procedures. All job-related injuries or illnesses are to be reported to your supervisor immediately, regardless of the severity. MS provides workers' compensation insurance for all employees. This insurance covers any injury or illness sustained in the course of work hours. In the event of injury during work hours, please follow the below procedures. 1. Contact your supervisor or local human resource representative, or if they are unavailable, the recruiting office or your recruiting specialist. 2. In emergency, seek immediate medical attention. 3. In a non-emergency situation, complete an accident investigation form available from your supervisor. 4. Go to the assigned clinic. 5. Follow the directives of your medical consultation and report that information to your supervisor or human resources. If MS has reason to suspect that an employee is working while under the influence of an illegal drug, alcohol, or other intoxicant, the employee may be asked to submit to a drug or alcohol test. If the employee refuses to submit to a test, then the employee may be subject to disciplinary action, including but not limited to termination. In compliance with the Immigration Reform and Control Act of 1986, every new employee, as a condition of employment, must provide information to complete the Employment Eligibility Verification Form, an I-9. Every new employee must also, within 3 days of the date of hire, present documentation establishing identity and employment eligibility from the I-9 list. MS pays overtime to non-exempt hourly employees in accordance with the Fair Labor Standards Act. MS pays time and a half, 1 1/2 times a non-exempt employee's rate for all hours worked over 40 hours in any given work week. All employees also must understand that they will not be paid for the time spent commuting to and from the client's location, or from MSIL's office and the client's location. In addition, time spent waiting for an assignment at the client's location will not be paid. Your workday begins when you arrive at the client's location, clock in, and begin working. MS provides employment opportunities on a short and long-term basis. All questions regarding your employment should be directed to your local office and not the customer. It is strictly prohibited to approach a customer about employment opportunities or issues. As an employee, it is your responsibility to notify us of any changes in personal status, such as address, telephone numbers, emergency contact, or any legal name change. This allows us to keep your file up to date and accurate. Thank you for choosing MS for your employment needs. Please feel free to contact the office daily for job opportunities.